Okay, we've started.
So, yeah, hello everyone. We missed a week, but welcome back to Your Time Starts Now, a Taskmaster podcast.
Yeah.
I'm Emerson.
And I'm not.
So, why did we miss a week, Joe?
Because I had to work late, and then because I assume you spent the entire rest of the week on a rager, because it was your birthday.
Oh, yeah, my birthday was on Friday. I turned 21, and so I'm officially not a child anymore, at all. But I did get a birthday card from a very special someone who I'm actually talking to right now.
There's someone else in the room with you? Wow.
I'm just kidding. You're not in my top, even in my top 100 of most important people, Joe.
Thanks.
Let's see what it says, shall we? Why did you have to steal it down with sellotape?
Because I have a fear of envelopes popping open in transit. That happened once.
Okay. Happy birthday. It is your birthday. Technically. Celebrate your birthday in a way that completes the sentence. I had the blankest birthday ever. Most interesting or memorable celebration wins. You have X days to prepare, where X equals the number of days until your birthday. Then you have 24 hours to complete the task. If X equals more than 300 days, complete this task during the next major holiday. Christmas, New Year's, etc. Your time starts now. Well, I don't know when this got there, so I'll say my birthday.
I'm going to put the blame on Royal Mail for that one. I mailed that with plenty of time.
Yeah, there's a mail strike going on with Royal Mail in this country. So if you're in the UK and you want to send something, try sending it with every or something. Every spelled E-V-R-I.
Try running really fast.
Or carrier pigeon.
Carrier pigeon.
Carrier pigeon. So what did I do for my birthday? We had brunch in the morning.
I was going to say, if you're asking that question, I think you celebrated it in the traditional English fashion of, what did I do last night?
We went for brunch in the morning, then we did an escape room, then we played mini golf, and then we went out for dinner and came home and had cake and presents.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very, very fun.
Yeah. We didn't do very well at the escape room, but...
Failed to escape.
My family makes an awful team. But we were up against this other group of people. They weren't a family. Well, at least they weren't a biological one. But they didn't do any better than us. They got stuck in this one last room, and oh god,
I've never thought about competitive escape rooms before. That seems like it would go really well or really poorly.
Well, you're competing. It's not really. You're competing against the timer above anything, but also you've got to. Sorry, I banged my table. You've got to really respect your team, which is something my family can't do at all.
Oh dear.
So yeah, we played mini golf. We went to this really bougie mini golf course in Oxford Circus.
What's the difference between normal mini golf and bourgeois mini golf?
Well, we got served cocktails while on the course.
That fucks. I want that. Our local mini golf place is all outside.
And it was indoors.
Oh, I should tell Goofy Golf they need to start serving us drinks at each hole. Oh, yeah. They could just you buy a case of Natty Light and you just have one per hole. Oh, you'd get trashed so quickly. Because that's about the level they're at is Natty Light.
What's new in your life, Joe?
Nothing, really. We had Halloween. It's November the 1st when we were recording this. So Halloween happened. Hooray,
Oh.
The house is all decorated for that.
Oh, that reminds me. It's no not November.
I plan on eating a significant amount of peanuts this month, so I'm fine.
Yeah. I already failed No Not November. I
didn't need to know that.
No, I was just going to say I had some Nutella on toast.
Okay.
It was very fun.
Sure.
Okay, Taskmaster Series 6, Episode 7, Roadkill Doused in Syrup. What did you think of this episode, Joe?
I thought it was very bold of them to make a Lord Lucan joke in the opening
Was
banter.
was this the mirror glasses?
Yeah, okay, so no, before that, before the mirror glasses got brought out, Greg said he came into work like Lord Lucan, which is such a wild comment to make. This is in like the first 10 or 15 seconds. Because nobody under Greg's age is going to know that joke.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was. I was going to ask you what that was.
Okay, so somehow I know English cultural history more than you do. Lord Lucan is, as his name might suggest, a minor. I believe he was a member of the House of Lords, who, in the midst of his life falling apart due to serious gambling addiction, among many other things, in the 70s, attempted to murder his wife, murdered his housekeeper, and then vanished into thin air.
Oh, okay.
And has never been seen again.
I love how you know more British history than me.
I know a lot.
Yeah, you're a smart boy. Alex has some mirror glasses that are angled at a 90 degrees down, so he can read what's on his laptop while facing straight ahead.
Yes, this contrasts with the glasses that Greg got in a previous...
the ones Frank Skinner gave him.
Yes.
Many millennia after Frank Skinner's time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it feels so good to make throwback jokes, doesn't it?
Yes, although it's not really a throwback joke if we're just mentioning something that happened.
No, it's the joke that Frank Skinner
Yes, I know.
Who's doing the prize task?
Who did it last time?
I can't remember.
Fuck. Do you want me to flip a coin?
Yeah, heads I do it.
Okay. Right, I'm flipping it.
This is great content.
Heads, you do it. Came
Okay.
up heads.
So, the contestants have to bring in the scariest thing from their kitchen. So, up first is Alice Levine. And my note for this is, what is it with Alice and ham? Because, she brought in some Billy Bear ham for the snow globe.
The weird face ham would have been a better entrant than... Can I just say that this prize task sucked?
Yeah, but by the way, Alice just brought in some ham that had been left out in the sun.
Yeah.
Why would you do that, other than maybe the task?
Warm, sweaty ham, she said. The fear is food poisoning.
Ugh. I mean, I'm a person who's extremely hard to gross out, and obviously you can tell my sense of humor from some of the jokes I make. But that warm, sweaty ham makes me go, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't like this. Asim brought in a terrifying piece of fan art, which he describes of himself, which he describes as he looks like a demented samurai in the picture. And they do the side by side, and the side by side's quite good.
Yeah, it is not it's not a good piece of art. Also, as Greg notes, it doesn't actually defeat him from eating late at night, as it is covered in food remnants.
Yeah, that's true. Russell Howard brought in his girlfriend's doggy cam. Now, I know we've got a doggy cam at our home, my parents' home, sorry, I should say, because we've got a dog called Snowy, which I've probably mentioned before. Snowy's a very needy breed of dog. Like, if we leave the house as a large group of people, he gets really upset.
Okay.
And so we got the doggy cam to sort of check in on him, see if he's okay.
Oh, okay. You have, yeah, okay. Yeah, a spy device is...
Yeah. Although Russell's girlfriend has been abusing the doggy camera's functions, and she's using them to spy on Russell as well as the dog at work, because she catches Russell scratching his bum on camera, sends him a picture of it, and says, "Busy, are we?"
Which I would not like.
Now, Joe, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What was your reaction to Tim Vine's kitchen cupboard?
So Tim thinks that the best way to deal with this is to not fix it. That is what I am getting out of this, is that Tim Vine would rather just not fucking fix his cabinet door than spend 2 seconds screwing it back in.
Yeah, so Tim's brought in his kitchen cupboard door that has a bad hinge and which could fall on his head.
Which has twice, according to him.
Is that why he's got no hair?
It's maybe, probably not.
But Greg sees it and he's immediately shrieking in horror.
I did not. I thought that this task was bullshit. This entire all the prizes
we've
they
had
brought
2
in,
weak prize tasks in a row, back to back,
and it's again like scariest thing from your kitchen. I mean, there's got to be better ways to do this, and it's just awful. Like Asim and Lisa are on the right track, and Russell is just doing it right because the modern surveillance state is terrifying.
I actually have something good.
Tim and Alice, my God, they're not even funny.
I'll tell you. I actually have something I bring in, but I'll tell you that after I tell you what Lisa Tarbuck brought in. She brought in a food presser containing a fake severed finger, and for some reason in my notes I wrote outside the fact, and I don't know why.
Outside the what?
The fact.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Maybe I meant to say outside the box. I don't know.
Maybe. Lisa's whole thing for this is that she's afraid that one day she will have the blade at the very top while she's julienne slicing something and will accidentally shove her finger through it, which is a real fear that is totally valid, and I actually recoiled a little bit when she said that. And I was like, yes.
When you do Taskmaster Joe, are you going to put Lisa in first?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, Greg scores as follows. Russell gets 5 for the doggy cam. Asim's picture gets 4, Lisa 3, Alice 2, and Tim 1. Do you want to do Taskmaster Joe first, or should we say what we would each bring in?
Let's do Taskmaster Joe first.
All right. Roll the world's worst jingle.
It's the Taskmaster and his name is Joe, and he's gonna tell us what we should know. It's Taskmaster Joe.
Right, so
we haven't done the Hawaiian shirt count in a while either.
None of these fucks are wearing Hawaiian shirts.
Maybe you should wear a Hawaiian shirt every day just so we can say the Hawaiian shirt.
I always wear a Hawaiian shirt. But anyways, Lisa, I put in first place because it's terrifying. Russell and Asim, I both put in second because the surveillance state is terrifying and that drawing is terrifying. And then joint last, the hand and the door. Because they both
the most unlikely duo. So this is why I actually have something good that I would bring in. I would bring in my George Foreman grill.
Why?
Because I have my bedroom. Well, my bed is next to my small kitchen unit in my flat at university, right? And a couple of nights, I think it was maybe on my second week in, I had left the lid of my grill up.
Okay.
As I went to sleep.
Okay, Michael Scott. Okay, I've heard this bit from The Office before.
No, what you do not? Do you know what I'm about to say?
No, but you say it, and then I'm going to tell you what you are ripping off unintentionally.
I've never seen The Office. The US Office, just to clarify. So I go to sleep, and I leave the lid of my George Foreman grill open. And then, just as I'm about to drop off to sleep, the thing closes by itself and makes a loud clanging noise as you do. And I literally just sat upright in bed and screamed out loud.
Okay. No, what I was going to say is there's a very famous clip from the US version of The Office where inept man Michael Scott, played by comedian Steve Carell,
who also does Gru. That was my bad Gru.
Yes.
Impression.
In one of his many ineptitudes, he says he likes waking up to the smell of bacon. So he hooked up his George Foreman grill to a timer and so it goes off every morning, and he just closes the lid, goes back to sleep for a few minutes, and wakes up. And in one episode of The Office, he comes in having burned his foot after he woke up, stepped on it, and had the lid close on his foot. And that's really where I thought you were going to go with it.
I would like an apology from you, Joe.
No.
Why not?
I could see you making that joke. I could see you saying that, thinking to yourself that this is some original that nobody will notice.
That's all the more reason you should apologize to me, because you think I would plagiarize something when I actually wouldn't. Looks around, obviously.
I think you would. I think that you would have thought that this was an obscure enough joke.
Okay. Even if I did do that, Joe, what am I saying? You should still apologize to me because I didn't do it. You thought wrong of me. And
am I wrong though? It's like my George Foreman grill, and I'm like, no, I know where you're going with this.
No, this is you're like no. Oh, okay.
But I don't know what I would bring. Probably just a knife or something. Like something that's like, oh, you can hurt yourself with this. Like a filleting knife or something that's like obviously going to, like, if you do this wrong, it'll hurt you. Like what Lisa brought.
All right, you're doing task 1.
Right.
You absolute codswallop of a man.
Sure. Don't know what that means. So we now observe as Joe, in full cultural appreciation mode, takes the time to point out that cricket is the stupidest sport in the world and no one should ever play it. It's so dumb.
Are you basing that off what you've seen in this task, or are you basing it...
No game should take so long that you have to get a hotel for the weekend just to watch it finish.
I mean,
there are 3-day-long matches of cricket.
I don't care for cricket, so I don't.
Cricket's a stupid fucking game.
Don't tell my grandfather that. He's just gone. He doesn't matter. He just loves cricket.
It's a stupid game, almost as stupid as what Tim Vine is wearing, because Tim Vine reveals that he has fake sleeves on his jacket that he just sort of like pulls off his forearms. It's really funny. But anyway,
that's like his stage spade kind of thing.
Yes, it's really funny. This task is okay. So they're out on the lawn. They're out on the lawn. There is. If you play cricket, you might know how they set up for cricket, but it's also dumb.
Cricket is usually, in professional cricket, there's wickets at two ends of the bowling green. Green or the bowling strip? Yeah, one team is throwing and fielding, the other team is batting. And yeah, the bowler throws the ball, and if the batsman hits it, then the two batsmen have to run backwards and forwards. And then they just have to get to their closest base by the time they think it's safe.
Are the bails on the stump anything specific to cricket, or is this
if the bowler hits the stumps, then the batting team's go is over, I think, or they swap over or something, or at least they bring something.
So your description of cricket, did you ever watch or read the movie based on the Roald Dahl book, A Fantastic Mr. Fox?
I read the book a very long time ago. I've seen
a scene in
I've
the
seen
movie.
the Wes Anderson film 100 million times because it's that
You
good.
do realize that the explanation you just gave me sounds almost identical to the explanation given for the game Whack-Bat that they have in this movie, which is supposed to be a game that is not only a parody of cricket, but also is just incomprehensible. Why does your country have this as a sport? I don't care. We're going to move on.
That film is so good. It
is very good.
It's an amazing film.
Anyway,
I love how short it is as well. It's over in less than half an hour, and it just breezes by.
The movie is an hour and a half long.
That's like 5 minutes of credits, though, which you can just miss.
Okay, whatever. We have gotten off track. Let's actually read the brief for the task. This is knock the balls off the stumps.
Bails off the stump.
The bails off the stump. I am assuming this is a cricket term.
Yes.
You have a maximum of 1 over. I am assuming this is a cricket term.
An over is 6 throws.
Why didn't they just say 6 throws?
You could ask that about why any sport has those technical terms, and
yeah, but the technical term is 6 throws. Usually there are other
fancy name. Why any sport has these fancy names?
Whatever. You must make your attempt from behind this stump. There is another stump 22 yards away at the end of a piece of red paper or red carpet.
The red carpet that they had to project the pee on, probably.
Yes. And then actually, I don't think it might have been something different. I don't think it was the red carpet. It might have been red paper. It again doesn't really matter. No stumps may be moved. Fastest wins. Your time starts now. We're shown okay, also on the bathtub is arranged out in the yard behind them, on top of which there is a cricket ball, a bowling ball, a soccer ball, a basketball, and what looks like a very old version of a football from U.S. football, but also might just be a rugby ball. Anyways, we see Alice and Asim go first, after we get a cut back to the studio segment in which it is roundly mocked the idea that anyone would actually throw the ball. Quite naturally, we get a cut to Alice and Asim throwing the balls. Alice especially was unsuccessful. Asim just missed. Alice didn't even get close. Like, she recognized that she was rolling off the red, which would mean the ball was rolling away. So she tried and failed to make bumpers like you would on a bowling alley if you were really bad. And then also
when you go
she
bowling,
tried.
Joe, do you have the bumpers up, or do you go free?
No. They generally frown upon that when you're an adult. And also, I just don't really bowl that much. I bet if I bowled regularly, I'd be good at it.
I'm going to go bowling later this week, so I need to know what I should do.
The alleys are usually waxed. The idea is that you put a little bit of curve on the ball, so the ball is spinning on the wax, and the wax runs out about halfway down the alley. So you want to make sure that it's spinning in a way that when it hits the end of the wax and it starts grabbing, it rolls towards the center pin.
I think it's better to be a bad player than a cheater. Or at least a handicapped player.
What the fuck are you talking about? The wax is there. That's the whole point.
No, I'm talking about the bumpers.
Oh. No, it's much more fun to have the bumpers up because then you can't fuck up. You get gutter balls. But, anyways, Alice, again, we are distracted by the sports.
If you have the bumpers up, don't worry. I would probably do the same as you. Anyway,
we are distracted by the sports. Alice also missed everything, but she was really pathetic in doing it. It was cringeworthy. Greg comments, I don't know if we want to put the soundbite here, but Greg comments that she was about as successful as if she'd put all the balls on a tray and dropped them, which
would probably have been a better technique.
A better technique, yes. Asim took 1:50 to miss everything. Alice took 10 minutes and 8 seconds. Next up, we had Tim Vine, who recognized that he wasn't going to get anywhere with the balls, and so thought laterally, tied a piece of string to the end of the carpet, and then tied it the other end to around the center pole stump thing, and yanked on the carpet from the other end, knocking over the stump and pulling over the and knocking over the bails. I thought this was very innovative. This is the only one who didn't do anything with the balls. I therefore wonder if anybody else even thought to do anything else, or if just seeing the balls near it. There was also a golf ball out there too.
Yeah, Tim was also introduced as the stump for this task.
Yes, but
which stands for rarely known. RKA the stump, which stands for rarely known as.
Yeah, RKA the stump, rarely known as. I do wonder if anybody even thought to do anything not related to the balls. Like you always think in these tasks where it says like you must make your attempt from behind the stump. Why didn't you just say, "Hey Alex, can you go knock that off for me?" And like even if he says no, at least you tried.
Yep.
And then next up we have Lisa, who tried a giant barrel and a couple which didn't roll all the way. Then she tried some balls, did not work. Then she just knocked over the stump that she was supposed to stand behind, went up, pushed the barrel in, and was like very proud of herself, but also was like, if this was clearly done out of annoyance.
Yep, you can tell when someone's really frustrated. You can tell when Lisa's really frustrated above anyone.
So she gets no points, but she knows that. Finally, we get Russell Howard, who introduced last, means that he either fucked it up or did really well. And in this case,
he did really well.
He did really well. I kind of was thinking as he picked up the cricket balls, like, oh, Russell seems like the kind of guy who's posh enough to know how to do this.
The thing is, Russell loves ball sports. We've seen that he loves football.
Yeah.
And we know that he's quite good at cricket.
Russell seems like the kind of guy who would know how to do this. And he did. Took him 21 seconds to absolutely just line drive down the stumps directly at the thing, knocked it off. It was perfect. Everybody cheered, and he naturally gets 5 points, and then Tim gets 4, and then everybody else gets nothing.
0. Which means that Russell has twice as many points as second place at this stage.
Yes.
My turn to do VT task 2.
Yes.
So the task is draw a picture of the contents of this box. You may not open the box or look inside. Also, you get a bonus point if you can name the person represented by the contents of the box. You have 10 minutes.
I would not have done well at this task.
Yeah, I think this is you have to really think very literally with this.
Yeah.
It's literally a say what you see kind of thing.
No, I can't draw.
I think the thing that would give you the most sorry, I bumped my microphone. The statue of David would give me the most worry because in the case of sorry. I'm thinking in the case of like acid.
I do have a question that I just want to sort of pose.
He looks like a ripped gingerbread man.
I would like, this is going to be fun for you to sort of describe how the pictures look, because there isn't really a good way to put good images in here. But I would like to ask a question, which is that the task brief says that have you said the task brief? I'm
yes,
distracted
I have. Draw a picture of the contents of this box. Blah 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 blah.
You may not open the box or look inside.
Yes, we've already said it.
Okay, why didn't anybody take stuff out of the box through the hole in the side? Because there's a hole in the side that they can reach their hand in and feel around.
I think not everyone's as smart as you, Joe. You have to get that through your little head.
It's a big head, thank you. And also,
I feel sorry for your mum.
Don't. She knows. I make those. Never keep going.
Is she gonna kill me?
Nah.
All right. Alice is up first, and she drops the title of the episode, which is "Roadkill Doused in Syrup." Upon describing the. So, by the way, I think the objects. There's a Davy Crockett hat, which is basically the furry hat with the long tail. There's a
named
wet
after
bra.
American folk hero Davy Crockett.
Yeah. There's a wet bra and a small model of Michelangelo's David. So Alice drew her picture of the objects in the box. She drew the hat, the bra, and the symbol figure. It's all right, really.
Hold on. Which one?
What do you mean?
Which one you thought was all right?
Alice, the drawing.
I thought Alice's was a really good draw, actually, because she actually did the items inside the box. It was really neat.
Sure, I'm just thinking about there's something that Russell Howard says during this task, and especially on 2 times the speed, it really gets me going.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
you're gonna have to take a soundbite of that because I have no idea what you're talking about.
if you listen to this podcast episode on 2 times the speed, you might find the same humor that I do.
But I don't.
I'm talking about you as a general audience. But yeah, you should listen to it on 2 times the speed. You'll get on with your day much quicker. Asim drew what Greg described as a Pokemon symbol, a pair of glasses, and a pissed ET. Although I thought it looked more like a ripped gingerbread man, as I described to John.
They are. It's a very notable
downgrade.
It's a very notable blank between. But it's a very notable downgrade between the women and the men. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Lisa draws a very accurate picture of all 3 items. Definitely the best picture.
Lisa's was great. Yeah. Russell's was my notes actually have a notable taper off as we get to the dudes because it's like Asim. Lisa, nice drawing, very accurate. Alice, very impressive and technical and accurate. Asim, not great. Tim, interesting. Russell, very bad.
Russell, it's the way Russell describes his thing. Okay, compose yourself, Alison. So he says, the statue of David is like,
I don't even know what he's laughing at is the best part.
Okay, it's because it was so fast. It was like, Russell described his drawing of the statue of David as like, it's a little snow. I go. Okay. Russell said, oh God. All right. Russell said this. Poker face. No, I didn't say that. Calm down. Are you still there, Joe?
Yes. I'm just waiting patiently for you to be done.
Okay. Russell says that the statue of David is like a little snowman going, cooey. I don't know why I found that so funny.
Do you want to get yourself together there?
Yes. So it's a little snowman who's waving. He draws the bra.
Do you just want to put this soundbite in the episodes that you can share with the class? What the hell it is you're laughing at?
It's kind of sad because I'm probably the only person in the whole world who found this bit really funny.
It's a little snowman going cooey.
Yeah. I think it's just like what Russell's trying to sell. Okay, Russell is trying to sell this drawing like he's a door-to-door salesman who failed the second he rang the doorbell.
Huh?
So he lost all confidence in himself the second he rang the doorbell. Okay. Now, I think, if I can put myself together, that this is a good time to say what the connection between the 3 objects is. So we've got a statue of David. The hat, amplified a little bit by the fact that it's a Davy Crockett hat. So we've got the Dave bit in common. The celebrity that links him is David Attenborough.
Yeah.
Would you have got that, Joe?
No. I honestly was thinking Leonardo DiCaprio because the David statue is a bit like an Oscar, and he did that one movie where he fights a bear, and so you could get the coonskin hat from that, and then the bras because he has many, many, many female partners, and the running joke is that he trades up to a younger one every couple of years.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing. I'm just trying to think.
I never said it was a good thing.
Although I don't
like. I have very strong feelings about age gaps in relationships.
Okay,
but
I do.
That's neither here nor there.
I do want to know why the bra was wet, because Alex tried to explain this to Greg, And this didn't seem like a bit either. But
a knighthood mean wet? I don't know how to ask this question, so hold on. Hold on. This is a tweet from Alex Horn on Twitter. When was this tweet? June 13th, 2018. So it could be. Absolute nonsense. Alex Horn tweeted this. Absolute nonsense. My fault! Exclamation mark. Hello. And these are replies to
This episode aired June 13th, 2018.
Let me read this Twitter conversation out to you. Dave tweets, ignoring at Alex Horn's nonsense about knights being wet, was anyone else thinking Sir David Attenborough would be wet because of Blue Planet? Anyone? I mean, reading that, it makes sense-ish. Then someone whose Instagram handle is when, but the E in when is replaced with an X. When we were young, they've replied to Dave and Alex saying, honestly, hadn't occurred to me, although I know well enough that the whole Sir thing was nonsense. And then Alex Horn rounds it off with absolute nonsense. My fault. Hello.
Baffling.
That's the whole conversation. I think we best leave the wet bit untouched, okay?
Yes. Sir David Attenborough, possibly moist.
Yeah, that's one of the most hated words in the English language.
Moist.
You saying it makes my skin crawl. Anyway, Tim, we haven't talked about Tim.
Oh my God.
Tim's drawing is very basic. But he includes the detail that all the items are wet, and he correctly guessed David Attenborough, so gets 1 extra point, which means the scores are...
And Russell also correctly guessed David Attenborough.
Yeah. So the scores, with bonus points applied, Lisa gets 5, Alice and Tim both get 4, Russell 2, and Asim 1.
Yes.
Yeah, so is this you? Is this you, Joe?
Yes, I would like to just point out that that this has a master task, which is there's a variation of this task that aired during New Year's Treat 2021, which was in this one you had to sculpt the scene on the other side of the wall.
Oh, I remember this one. That was fun.
That is based on this. Other than that, there isn't anything else. So we are going to move on to an absolutely amazing...
You very quickly describe this one. I'm going to fill up my water bottle. I will be 30 seconds.
Okay. Right. Is he gone? He's gone. Oh, we can hear him in the background. Oh, this is great. Right. So they're in the lab, and this is a two-part task. First part task is write down as many obscure animals. That was so much shorter than I thought it was going to be.
Well, that's a good thing. Sorry, I can't.
Write down as many obscure animals as possible. You have 3 minutes. Your time starts now. We are treated to the inner machinations of Russell Howard and Asim Chaudhry, because this is a team task that is also not a team task, and we immediately see the differences between these two. Russell writes down a bunch of mostly unknown animals like the liger, the duck-billed platypus, and the lesser spotted blue tit, among other animals. Asim then proceeds... Oh, no, sorry, it can wait. Asim then proceeds to go down a very different path. The 8-bollocked cat, laser beam turtle, anorexic elephant, and I can't remember the rest of them, but animals that flat out don't exist, and I really wish that he was just a little bit dumber, because the next part of the task that is handed to them immediately after they finish this, which, by the way, they're in the lab, the other people are in the next room. The task is delivered by a remote control shark balloon It's great. The next task is guess the animal that your teammate has on their list. Your teammate must only use mime. They may not write anything down or show you the list. You have 10 minutes. Most animals guessed wins. Your time starts now. I wish Asim was dumber and worse at miming because holy fucking shit. This man just sat there and pulled a bunch of fake animals out of his asshole, somehow manages to stand there in front of Lisa Tarbuck and Tim Vine, who are not the sharpest knives in the drawer, as we have seen, and manages to extract out of them 8 correct answers on this. How do you do that? I'm watching this, and it's like the most stunning thing ever. I would never have gotten one of them. It's absurd. I love it. The only thing that's better than this is Russell Howard miming to Alice Levine. Because Alice Levine, I guess, is just fucking god tier, because Russell is miming animals, this is almost harder because you have to do like a real animal, and she just gets them like that, like platypus and duck-billed platypus.
Well, the thing is, though, it's probably heavily edited.
Well,
having said that, they had a time limit, so she had to get them relatively quickly.
Okay, Russell wrote down 16 animals. Alice then correctly guessed 11 of them. If you approached me and said 16 animals, I would get none of them.
Well, that's nearly 70% that she got.
70%. That's incredible. I would have not gotten any percent. Who plays charades or miming in 2018? Nobody fucking does that.
I mean, it's a fun thing to do with a family.
I've never done that. I'm almost mad because it's amazing that they did it so well, and it's a fantastic task. But I really wish that they had just been garbage at it. Like Nish.
How do you act 8 bollocked cat?
I don't. He did it in there. I don't know how he managed to extract that information out of Tim's brain. I'm not entirely certain how, but it's just...
You describing it is like you're saying that either Tim is wrestling with his own mind or Asim is wrestling with Tim's mind.
So Asim has to, without speaking, drag the information out of Tim, who has no idea what the word is, and it's just like, what in the name of God is happening here? I wish they were bad at it, because it would have been so much funnier, and this is already a really funny task.
How many did Asim write down?
Asim wrote down 13 and they got 8. Russell wrote down 16. Alice got 11 by herself, which I think it's a higher percentage.
Yeah, the team of 3 got 61%, 62%.
Okay.
The team of
Alice.
The team of 2 got 69%.
Nice.
We're young men. We have to say that every time we hear the number. Also, I wanted to ask, how do those blow up remote control balloon things work? Because there's no electronics inside of them. Surely.
Yeah, there is. There's a little propeller There's a little propeller and a little battery
underneath the thing, but not inside the thing.
Well, and the back has got like a little motor mounted to it. It's like an airship. There are space. I think there are spaces inside of it.
Oh, I remember seeing a couple of years ago. I think it was it a Goodyear airship or either an airship or a hot air balloon going by my window.
Well, it would be an airship. Hot air balloons are completely different, but they probably just have a little.
Oh no, but it was
like a base.
I've definitely seen the two at least one point in my life. Like
the Goodyear blimps are based out of a city about an hour from where I live, so I see them somewhat regularly.
There aren't many airships flying around the world.
No, anyway. There are not many. No, because in the 30s they discovered that this was a technology that might kill you, and so they decided not to. But
anyway, the team of 3
Team Control Alt Delete versus Team Funk.
Team Funk gets 3 points apiece. Team Control Alt Delete gets 2 points apiece. There was one more point I want to notice, and I think I want to make this the thumbnail for the episode, unless we get nothing better. When Alice is guessing lesser spotted blue tit, her face is just completely neutral, but when she says the tit part of blue tit, her face just explodes with expression and then completely resets to neutral again. Like every muscle in her face is working when she says the word tit, and I thought it was quite funny.
I do not remember this, but I will take your word for it.
Well, I didn't remember it either until I had to rewatch the episode in preparation for this today. I rewatched the episode first to take notes, and then because we took a week off, I rewatched it again.
Huh.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Russell's still in the lead. Would you like to... Was this the next one? Who's this next one? Me or you?
That's you, but I want to just do the master task request on this because this is not the first version of this task.
Really?
No. So, Het Grootste Licht actually which is the Flemish version, which was in Belgium. It aired for 1 year in 2016, had a solo version of this task where they were instructed to make a list of animals and then to convey them to the assistant through mime.
The assistant, not their teammate.
No. And then that was in October of 2016, like 6 years ago last week. And then Taskmaster UK did it, and then Stormmaster did this in Season 2, Episode 6, which aired in May of 2019. So this might be one of the first times where a task has been adapted out of another series.
That's true. I'm currently watching Series 14, and there might be some tasks that have been adapted from Taskmaster New Zealand.
I've heard that. I have seen a couple clips on Facebook and stuff like that. I am excited to get to Dara O'Brien's season.
Well, we're not even halfway there.
Yep, I know.
We might not get there until I'm 25.
Oh, good.
Anyway, one more VT task to go, and this one's going to be a bit of an odd one to talk about. Wearing this sweatband around your head at all times, tuck as many items in the kitchen, they're in the kitchen by the way, inside the sweatband as possible. Then make a pancake with a diameter of at least 9 inches and eat the whole pancake. You have 2 minutes to tuck things in your sweatband, then 8 minutes to cook and eat your pancake. Most kitchen items successfully kept inside the sweatband wins.
Your time starts now.
Yeah, that should be a given. I'll start with Alice. The information I'm getting is from taskmaster.info.
This was a very weird task in the way it was edited as well.
Yeah. This task didn't really hit for me, I think.
It was really weird. This one didn't quite work in ways because
it's like a live task in a way, in the sense it's
Asim and Alice
difficult to describe.
Were shown at the same time, but there really wasn't an indication that it was like starting. And then Lisa,
yeah. Alice managed to eat a bit of her pancake was raw. She managed to eat a bit of it, but then she made the very weird decision to shake the items out of her sweatband whilst making the pancake. And as a result, she both ate the least amount of pancake and had the least items in her sweatband.
And she seriously just had randomly started shaking. It was really weird. And
she got fewest points in this task.
Yes.
Lisa.
Oh, what about Asim?
Were they shown together?
Asim, Alice, and Lisa were all kind of together.
Well, I'll talk about Lisa because it's the order in my notes. Lisa manages to eat about 75% of her pancake in time. And she runs it under a tap to cool it down because it's that hot.
Oh, I thought she was just trying to shove it in her mouth.
Now, they've used the very British description of she had hundreds and thousands in her sweatband, She therefore had the highest amount of individual things in her sweatband.
Hundreds and thousands is a candy bar, right?
Oh no, it's basically sprinkles.
Oh, okay. Because we do have a candy bar in the States called 100 grand.
Oh no, hundreds and thousands is it's basically sprinkles. Hence why she had the most things.
Yeah, no, there's a Nestle bar called 100 grand.
I don't think I've heard anyone call them hundreds and thousands in a very long time. That's the influence that American English has had on the rest of the world.
But
that was a weak laugh. It's like, should I be laughing at that? Okay.
America, fuck yeah,
Coming again to save the mother. That was a funny film. I love that film.
Yeah, but I also just wanted to point out
it was also a film
that
that was a lot better than I expected.
Yeah, it is. I also just wanted to point out really quick that Lisa's pancake looked really fucking thin, like to the point where it looked like she was making a crepe more than she was a pancake.
Is there I mean,
the distinction is that
count as a pancake.
It is. It's colloquial. It's a lot of times it's colloquially known as like a French pancake. The difference is that a crepe is very thin and you can like roll it up.
Yeah.
Like if you eat
they're very popular in France.
Yes, they're very popular in France, and if you eat them, you usually carry them around in like a handheld container. If you're eating them as street food, which I've definitely gone to places where they have crepes as street food.
Oh yeah, definitely crepe. Camden Market in London, great place by the way, has a lot of street food.
Yeah, there are a couple markets around here, but I just noticed it was incredibly thin, which is contrasting with. This is also like objectively some of the worst pancakes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and they're being shown on TV as well, so you have to make them good. She ate the second largest number of her pancakes, so she ate the second most pancake. Asim manages to eat half his pancake after burning it and forgetting he had to eat it during the 8 minutes.
He basically ended up using spray cream, or whipped cream as we call it in the United States, to cool his mouth down. He went through the entire can.
Squirty cream is... I think it's not like hundreds of thousands where that name's died out. Squirty cream is still used quite frequently. He uses the cream to try and cool his mouth.
Whipped cream.
Yeah, both names make sense. It's not really like one's better than the other. I don't care which name you use. He manages to eat the second least amount of pancake, and had the second least number of items in his sweatband. So he's on second last. Russell manages to eat all of his pancake, adding bananas to make it easier to eat.
I just want to quote a line from him, which is, "I presume a pancake is not unlike an omelet," and I wanted to reach through the computer screen and shake him by the shoulders and go, "That is not true."
Well, he was making it with bananas, not eggs.
Okay.
And you can make pancakes with bananas as well.
Okay, but an omelet is not a pancake.
Well, no, duh.
So it's not in the. It's just very weird. Russell also put Post-its in his headband, which I just figured he should have just put the entire pad of Post-it notes there, and that would have been like 100 sheets right there.
You make a very good point.
Oh, I'm starting to lose you. You're tired. We should go very quickly.
Tim manages to eat a little over half of his very, very thick pancake, and he adds chocolate spread to it to make it more easy to digest. He eats a third of the pancake and put the second highest number of items in his sweatband. So
it's really funny. Tim can't see anything. Tim is covering his entire face. One eye is visible from as he has a bunch of grapes and a towel drooped over the other side of his face.
He's trying to go for is he trying to go for an emo goth girl look?
It's almost like a ghillie suit made out of kitchen utensils. It's hilarious.
The scores are as follows. Lisa, Russell, and Tim all get 5. Asim 3, Alice 1. So Russell Howard has a pretty decent lead going into a very, very interesting live task that has a very interesting start.
This is so much fun. Also, just before we go on, director Savmira had an adapted version of this make a pancake task in season 1, episode 8, which was December of 21. Anyways, moving on to the live task, which absolutely absurd. It's hilarious.
So much happens here.
So, get an egg as close to the center of the target as possible. You must stand on the spot when taking your turn. You must roll 2 of your eggs. The person whose egg is furthest from the center of the target after each round is eliminated. The person in first place goes first. Now,
which is Russell.
Things that we're not told is that there are 3 eggs. One is a quail's egg, one is a standard chicken egg, and one is a plaster ostrich egg that is enormous. So we've got.
I don't blame them for not being able to get real ostrich eggs. They're rare, and you wouldn't want to break. You wouldn't want something like that to go to waste.
I've heard that ostrich eggs actually make really good omelets, but
you could probably make a decently sized omelet from a single ostrich egg.
Yeah, but more to the point here, it is plaster, but they didn't say that. Russell starts off this task because he is in first place.
This is by far my favorite moment of the series.
This task right here is one of the wildest events in the entire show, which is that so Russell picks up the egg and sort of tosses it in his hands and be like, haha, look at me, I'm gonna go, and immediately drops it. Drops it on the floor at his own feet, and then has to basically pick it up and throw the remains onto the thing, and it gets about halfway there, which I would just like to point out that this does 2 things. First of all, it cements the fact that this bunch of idiots who has to go after him, because Russell is the most adept when it comes to physical tasks like this.
Sorry, I'll edit this bit out, but what did you say you cut out for a very brief second?
Okay, so this does 2 things. This cements that this bunch of idiots that Russell is on with, because Russell is very adept at the physical task, much more so than anybody else, that these idiots are going to pull out of their asses the best physical performance of their entire life. And it's also going to... It also does something very interesting, which is that everybody throws the chicken egg. Everybody. So the task only says you must roll 2 of your eggs. So you can throw it once and roll twice. And this is one of these very interesting things that happens on Taskmaster, is that when people are presented with the task and then a pile of stuff off to one side that may or may not be related to the task, they unconsciously use those without realizing that this might not be the best decision. So, in this, Russell picks up the chicken egg, drops it immediately, throws it. Every single person after him picks up the chicken egg and throws it on the first round. Because we get Tim next. Tim throws it, hits the outer ring of the target. Lisa gets in between Tim's egg and Russell's egg. Alice throws and is even with Tim, and Asim actually hits the bullseye. So Russell's eliminated, which also Russell knows he's eliminated. He's lying on the bench that they have off for the eliminated people in despair. It's hilarious. He screams at Alex to fuck off at one point. It's great. Then we get the first roll thing, and we do start to get and then we do start to get a bit of difference, but again, it's very interesting that everybody used the chicken eggs in the first one, because everybody but Alice uses the gigantic. Not everybody. Tim and Lisa use the ostrich eggs. Tim rolls it off the far end, which makes Lisa go, I need a little bit less welly. She picks it up and it turns left and it rolls off the side of the stage about 6 inches from where she started. Alice then actually uses the quail's egg and rolls that and gets it almost all the way to the edge of the bullseye. And then Asim rolled an egg to about where Russell's was. So that was another quail's egg. So then we get Tim, who rolled the quail's egg the shortest distance. He didn't get it very far. Alice rolled off the stage, but it didn't break, but it went one direction. And then Asim rolled off the far end of the stage and it went in the other direction. And so we get Asim's was closest, then Tim's, then Alice was in third place, which is, but I just thought it was very interesting that everybody went for more or less the same eggs once they saw the first person doing it. Only Alice really bucked the trend.
Yeah.
And then,
we've completely lost the will to live, haven't we?
I haven't. You have. Anyways, the winner of this episode by 1 point is Russell Howard, because Asim went from 5th place to 4th place with this victory. Tim Vine almost got up there, but he didn't quite, and into 1st place. And so Russell wins. Credits roll, and then we get the stuff that happens during the credits, which is always great. Alex and Greg switch glasses. So Alex puts on Greg's glasses while Greg is looking through the look down spectacles, which are fun. And then Russell, meanwhile, goes up on stage, and they always have the prize is displayed on this like table with like ornate like Corinthian columns and a tabletop, and I guess it's not actually like it's just held together by gravity, because he leans on the tabletop and the tabletop almost comes off and falls over. so he actually is like, you can see the table rock back, and him realize it's not attached, so he just sort of stops and holds on to it, and he's like, ugh, as the credits roll. And that is the episode. I think Emerson is dead inside.
I need to recharge my batteries.
Yes, it is. We've only been at this for an hour, but we are just about done. I have been not Emerson.
And I've not been Joe.
So we are going to take our leave and go away. Goodbye.
Bye. All right, we have 2 tracks for some odd reason. It shouldn't be that bad. Oh, yeah.